This was never meant to be discovered. Not the tunnels, not the structure, and certainly not what has just been uncovered. For years, Oak Island has followed the same pattern, revealing just enough to keep the search alive, but never enough to expose the full truth. Until now. Because in Season 13, Episode 1, something changes. What begins as a routine dig quickly turns into a turning point. They don't just uncover wood or fragments of metal, they find something that connects every major discovery ever made on the island. Suddenly, everything points to a single location, a place no one had taken seriously before. And that's where things take a darker turn. The deeper they dig, the clearer it becomes. This wasn't simply a hiding place. It was a system, carefully designed, deliberately engineered, and strongly protected. Whatever lies at its center was never meant to be found. So now the question isn't whether treasure exists, but what might happen if they actually reach it. For the first time, they may be closer than anyone in history. If they're right, this could be where the mystery finally ends, or where something far bigger begins. For more than 230 years, Oak Island has drawn in treasure hunters. This small island in the North Atlantic is wrapped in legend, tragedy, and an unsolved mystery that began in 1795 with the discovery of a strange, deep shaft known as the Money Pit. Since then, it has captivated generations and claimed 6 lives. According to the island's infamous curse, one more must die before its secrets are revealed. As Season 13 begins, brothers Rick and Marty Lagina, along with their partner Craig Tester and their dedicated team, are more determined than ever to finally solve the mystery. The premiere, a special 2-hour episode, wastes no time. Instead of cautious exploration, they launch a focused and aggressive plan, driven by a remarkable new artifact that could reshape everything they thought they knew. Their strategy is simple but bold. The treasure they've been searching for may no longer be in the original Money Pit. Instead, they believe it has fallen deeper into a natural geological formation called the Solution Channel, a massive water-filled cavity in the bedrock more than 200 feet below the surface. This season, their goal is to map and systematically drill into this largely unexplored area. Less than 5% of it has been investigated, in hopes of finding the key that could finally lead to a full recovery. One of the most powerful moments of the premiere doesn't come from digging, but from a presentation. Researcher Doug Crowell introduces Steve Solomon, a man with deep family ties to the island's past. As a descendant of the Archibald family, important figures in the 19th century search, he brings with him what could be the most significant physical evidence ever connected to the Money Pit. He presents a silver coin, believed to have been recovered during the famous drilling operation of 1849. According to the story, a foreman named James Poblado was drilling into the flooded Money Pit when the drill passed through wooden layers and loose metal, possibly treasure chests. When the drill was pulled up, Poblado was seen taking a small, shiny object. He later showed it to businessman Charles Archibald, and together they attempted to purchase part of the island. Their offer was rejected, and the object was lost to history until now. The coin, passed down through generations of the Archibald family, may be that very object. When examined, it's identified as a Portuguese coin dating back to the reign of King Ferdinand between 1367 and 1383. Made of 37.5% silver and slightly bent, possibly from the drilling process, it's in remarkably good condition, suggesting it had been sealed away for centuries. The implications are enormous. For the first time, the team isn't just working with theories or indirect evidence. They may be holding an actual piece of the treasure, with a traceable history linking it directly to the Money Pit at nearly 100 feet deep. Even more intriguing, a marking on the coin appears similar to a Templar cross. This strengthens a long-standing theory connecting Oak Island to the Knights Templar and their successor organization in Portugal, the Knights of Christ. The coin is no longer just currency. It becomes a clue pointing toward a much larger historical narrative. For the team, this discovery shifts everything. It suggests that something real does lie beneath the Money Pit, and possibly much deeper than they once believed. With renewed urgency, field operations intensify. The focus turns to key boreholes drilled near the site of a major collapse from the previous season. Their goal is to break through the bedrock and reach the solution channel below, where they believe remnants of the treasure may have settled. The drilling process is slow and tense. Experts closely monitor every movement as the drill cuts through layers of soil and rock. Then, a breakthrough moment. The drill suddenly drops, indicating it has passed into the open cavity of the solution channel. Excitement builds instantly. They are now working at depths between 180 and 210 feet, deeper than any previous search efforts. Every core sample brought up from these depths is examined with intense focus. Each piece could hold the evidence they've been searching for. For the first time in centuries, it feels like they're not just chasing a legend. They're getting dangerously close to the truth. Although they don't uncover a chest filled with gold, the team still makes meaningful progress. They come across fragments of thick, non-corrosive metal. At first, the pieces are puzzling, but they are eventually identified as parts of old drill casing, likely dating back to the 19th century. Rather than being a disappointment, this discovery turns into a valuable clue. It suggests that the team is drilling through the same searcher holes created in the 1840s, placing them in the exact area of the original money pit. As geologist Terry Matheson points out, drill casing could remain underground if a worker suddenly abandoned the site after encountering something valuable. A direct nod to the long-standing story of Piblotto. The premiere concludes with the team continuing to map the solution channel. They encounter slushy material, but not the treasure itself. Even so, their approach feels validated. They are drilling in the right location, at the right depths, and the belief that the treasure sank deeper has now become the driving force behind their mission. While the money pit remains the main focus, the archaeological work on Lot 5 is uncovering an equally fascinating story. Led by archaeologist Laird Niven, the team investigates a rounded stone foundation and a nearby rectangular structure, both deliberately buried. The discoveries here are significant and appear to date back long before the money pit was found in 1795. Metal detection expert Gary Drayton and Alex Lagina uncover a heavy iron fastener, hinting at yet another structure. But the most revealing finds come from careful excavation and sifting. Among them is a piece of Staffordshire slipware pottery, dated between 1675 and 1770. According to Rick Lagina, finding such early material within an undocumented structure could reshape the known history of Nova Scotia. Even more striking is the discovery of a tiny Venetian glass bead by archaeologist Miriam Amirol. This adds to a growing collection of beads found on the site, including one made of forest glass that may date back as far as the 10th century. These beads were once valuable trade items and symbols of status, suggesting that this site was far more than a simple colonial settlement. Earlier discoveries, such as a lead barter token and buttons linked to the Knights of Malta, an organization connected to the legacy of the Knights Templar, add even more intrigue. Laird Niven emphasizes that the site shows signs of activity from as early as the 1200s, followed by another phase between the 14th and 16th centuries, and then the well-documented searcher period after 1795. Lot 5 now appears to have been a multi-generational base camp, possibly used by different groups over hundreds of years, all potentially connected to whatever lies buried in the money pit. The Season 13 premiere skillfully ties together three major threads: the Portuguese coin, the deep drilling operation, and the archaeological work on Lot 5. Each element supports the others. The coin explains why the team is pushing deeper into the solution channel. The drilling suggests where the treasure might now rest. And the discoveries on Lot 5 hint at who may have been involved and when. Together, they point toward a long-running, carefully guarded effort, possibly involving medieval Europeans such as the Knights Templar or their allies, to hide something of great value on the island. This season carries a noticeably different energy. The team's outlook has shifted from hopeful speculation to steady confidence. They now have a clearer direction, a tangible artifact in hand, and a timeline that stretches back to the Middle Ages. For Rick Lagina, holding the Portuguese coin feels like confirmation. It represents more than just history, it's proof. Proof that after more than 230 years, countless attempts, and 6 lives lost, the island may finally be ready to reveal its secrets. The so-called curse may still linger, but for the first time, the solution feels within reach. The discovery of the coin does more than validate the treasure hunt. It reshapes the historical narrative the team has been building for years. What was once a theory about Templar involvement now carries greater weight. The coin is a real, dated object with a direct connection to the depths of the money pit, linking medieval Portugal, the Knights of Christ, and the complex system hidden beneath Oak Island. This isn't just an artifact, it's evidence. It narrows the list of possible origins and gives the team a clearer historical focus, turning a vast mystery into something more defined and traceable. That clarity becomes crucial when facing the immense challenge of the solution channel. The premiere makes it clear this is no simple excavation. The channel behaves like a flowing river of mud, unstable, unpredictable, and capable of swallowing or displacing anything within it. Drilling into it is a high-risk operation. A valuable object could easily be pushed aside or lost entirely in the sludge. In many ways, this natural formation is more effective than any man-made trap. Success will require not just persistence, but precision, like navigating a complex 3-dimensional puzzle deep underground. To improve their chances, the team is now considering advanced scanning technology and water pressure control methods to better understand the structure before pushing further. Meanwhile, the work on Lot 5 is evolving into a full-scale historical investigation. Each artifact, the pottery, the beads, the iron pieces, adds another layer to a story that is only beginning to take shape. The rounded stone foundation is no longer seen as simple ruins. It may have served as a command center or secure shelter for those protecting whatever secret the island holds. The range and age of the discoveries suggest that Oak Island wasn't used just once, but revisited over centuries by a specific, possibly secretive group. Some experts now believe the site may also have been used for storage, ship repairs, or even coded communication between expeditions, further deepening the mystery and raising the stakes of what might finally be uncovered. This changes the nature of the treasure hunt completely. It's no longer just about finding a hidden chest. It's about uncovering a complex, long-running operation built on secrecy, planning, and ambition. At the center of it all is the human element, especially the contrast between the Lagina brothers. Rick Lagina, driven by hope and passion, sees the Portuguese coin as the emotional proof he has been waiting for all along. For him, it validates years of belief. Marty Lagina, on the other hand, approaches it with logic and strategy. He looks at the same evidence and asks a simple but critical question. Is it more than 51% likely to be true? This difference in mindset is what drives the search forward. Rick's belief fuels the mission, while Marty's measured thinking ensures that every step is calculated and effective. Together, they strike a balance between faith and reason, something essential when dealing with a mystery as deep and complicated as Oak Island. Supported by experts like Gary Drayton and Laird Niven, the team continues to move forward with both passion and precision. Looking ahead, the path is clear, but far from certain. The drilling operation will expand, using a careful grid approach to search the solution channel in hopes of striking something significant. Meanwhile, the excavation at Lot 5 will continue, potentially revealing more structures and offering clearer clues about who once used the site. At the same time, the discovery of the Portuguese coin is opening new doors in historical research. The team plans to dig deeper into financial and maritime records from 14th century Portugal, particularly those connected to the Knights of Christ, searching for any evidence of voyages to a distant, unknown island. There is also growing interest in comparing findings from Oak Island with similar discoveries in Europe, which could help strengthen the historical connections and provide a clearer picture of the past. The Season 13 premiere sets the stage for what could be the final chapter of this long-running mystery. For the first time, both the team and the audience have strong reasons to believe that the treasure is not only real, but possibly within reach. They now have a key artifact, a better understanding of the underground structure, and a timeline that stretches back centuries. The pieces of the puzzle are finally on the table. What remains is the challenge of putting them together to answer the questions that have lingered for over 200 years. What is hidden deep within the solution channel? And who went to such extraordinary lengths to place it there? The search, now deeper, more focused, and more determined than ever, has truly entered a new phase. With advanced technology, sharper strategies, and a stronger sense of belief guiding them, the journey continues. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned as the mystery unfolds. Please subscribe to the Time Fold channel, and don't forget to like.